I met this girl. If I'm not mistaken, her name was Portia. It was cute, chocolate, light skinned girl. And
wait a minute. Cute chocolate light skin. Break that down just for how to.
So black
Folks we expect them. We expect them. I just need to know what
let me rephrase that.
Because
strike that from the
that
record.
sounds amazing.
Strike that. It was some light skinned girls that were good.
No, chocolate light skin. I'm trying to find out what that is.
No. So I believe her name was Portia. She was chocolate.
All right.
Cute chocolate girl. And we did an assembly, right? So, at this assembly, I used to sing in the gospel choir as well.
Mm-hmm.
So sang with the gospel choir. I think I did a lead song in the gospel choir. And her dad, George, we used to call him George the Jammer back in the day.
Wait a minute. No. Her father was George the Jammer? Sidebar. The George the Jammer tapes. The tapes were infamous in Chicago back in the day. Chicago music history. We didn't call them mixtapes back in the day. We called them compilations.
Mm-hmm.
And George the Jammer has some of the dopest compilations circulating throughout the city and the suburbs. Man, some of the dopest and the newest juke mixes, the house mixes, and the underground hip hop. Her pop was George the Jammer?
If I'm not mistaken, her dad was George the Jammer.
Yo!
Or somebody in her family named George the Jammer.
Yo, I had a few of those tapes. Those tapes were legendary.
So, I told him, I would like to do some music. Went to the studio, checked out the studio. My mom drove me up there as well. But then we talked about my brother. And then that was my brother's training ground over there. That's how he learned how to record himself, how to make beats and stuff that.
Wait. We speedballing. So you said this kind of all came from you going into the auditorium, but you said you were also in the gospel choir. What got you in the choir to begin with?
Well, because I'm a church boy. So, what I'm saying? Anytime you get a chance to sing, especially I was in special ed all of my life. So
okay.
I didn't like studying, I had a slight reading disability.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, when everybody was taking Spanish classes, I would go back into the, general ed classes just to, strengthen my reading,
mm-hmm.
strengthen my math and stuff like that. But, my classes that I looked forward to was art and choir. So of course, essentially I'm going to be in the gospel choir. So
what age were you when you first joined your first choir?
Well, I was pretty much when I could be able to sing. I joined, so probably 5, 6. My mom was the choir director, so my brother was there, I was there.
You were ushered in.
I was ushered in there. So singing in the choir was
pun intended.
Yeah, singing in the choir was something that was evident. So when George saw me, I must have been singing, and we connected. Like I said, then my brother got into the mix, and he kind of took the lead over there because I wasn't as dedicated to the music.
How many years older than you?
Year and a half.
Brother? Year and a half?
Yeah.
Y'all super tight. Y'all damn near twins.
Basically. So, he got into the mix. I learned a little bit, but he actually took it to the point of producing himself, working with the MPC, all that other
What age
stuff.
are y'all at this point? When he's self-producing?
I would probably say he's freshman, sophomore.
High school?
High school. Yeah, so this is when he was really deep in it, if I'm not mistaken. But then he was working with them for a long period of time. If you're from Chicago, then you know a group called Dude and Them. They had a song called Watch My Feet. So basically the same crew that was with George the Jammer, my homie Utmost. I haven't seen or talked to him in ages. He was a part of Dude and Them. So my brother was really working. They actually had, there was a song called Watch My Feet.
Watch My Feet was legendary in the streets of the Chi, baby. For real.
If you're from Chicago, of course, you're familiar with the footworking culture. You're familiar with the juke culture.
Even if you're not from the Chi, you've seen it, you've heard it. You can act like you don't
know,
but you know.
It was on 106 & Park a couple of times.
Yes.
But then, so Phil was, my brother Phil, he was doing a lot of, background production so far as background vocals and all that. And I think their big break kind of was when Just Right came out with Common and Queen Latifah. They had a song on there called Feet on Fire. If you look up the song called Feet on
Ooh.
Fire, my brother is
Is that the
singing
movie
the
when he was
background.
hooping? Where
Yes,
Common was hooping?
when he was coming back from the injury, and it's like, oh, when I move, it's something about the way you put it down. It makes the people say, and like my brother
This
was just
man's
going off.
flashbacks have melodies. Your
Oh.
flashback ain't got harmonies. Stop playing.
Thank you. I need you as my personal hype man. But